All right, everybody, here with another special edition of Fun Football Podcast. A little late, I apologize. That's all on me. But I'm really excited. Izac with Fun Football Pod. Got a radio show tonight, had a show last night, but I had to do another show with Pete. I was talking to my dad about it earlier. I was like, Pete was one of my first shows, and I'm really excited that now your Patriots are in the freaking Super Bowl. Sounds like I got to get you on. Dude, how has this run been? How are you feeling? I know you've experienced several Super Bowls in your lifetime, but how does it feel to be back in the big game? And how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on. Let's start there. Also feeling great because my team's in the Super Bowl. We were just chatting beforehand. In years past, the Patriots were not in the playoffs. They weren't even in contention. They were 4-13 for back-to-back years. We were just hoping to rebuild our franchise, and nobody thought it would be this quickly. Nobody thought in the summer we would be here. I know I wasn't. I picked us to get around 9 wins, and that was like high. You know, when people were picking 10, 11 wins, I was like, oh, you're a homer, right? Like nobody expected this.
No, I was thinking maybe 10 and a wild card I was like, I could see that as a ceiling with Vrabel. Maybe that was like a hot, trendy pick was maybe the Patriots as a wild card, but that was about it, you know?
Like we did a ceiling, like floor, ceiling, and likely scenario on the podcast, Division my co-host, and the floor was like, oh, we're back to 6 wins again, but that was the worst case. Everything goes wrong, someone gets hurt. Best case scenario, I said, and I think this was a quote, even in your best case scenario, Drake May's not your MVP and you're not going to the Super Bowl. So like even in our best case scenarios, we weren't even projecting this. So it's not, this is beyond our wildest dreams, but I hate the term house money. Like, have you ever been to the casino and actually won money and you're like, house money? Yeah. Then you blow it too easily and you're irresponsible with it. So we're not irresponsibly, we're not taking this for granted is the analogy, right? Like we're very happy to be here. We're underdogs. We recognize the position we're in just because we've been here before. There's no connection to those past teams, this current team, outside of Mike Vrabel played for them, right? You know, Josh McDaniels coached them, but like the players don't, you know, they just know of that. This is a different iteration of the team.
You know what's funny is I didn't get to tell you this. I love playing poker. And my biggest problem is sometimes I'm good about walking away, but I always get ahead and I'm like, oh, it's house money. I'm up $300. Then I typically within an hour lose it. Yeah. That's my mistake, but I love playing poker. But dude, no, exactly. You nailed it. Seattle as well. This was the odds on both teams to make the Super Bowl preseason. If you placed this bet, the odds were absurd. Weren't both teams more than 60-1 to make the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah, they were the complete long shots, both of them.
I love it. That's why I was like, I got to talk with you. I'm sorry, it's going to be only 40 minutes. If you're game, I would love to do the mock, the big one that we always do, that we've done twice now. But I'd love to have you and Division with me and Med in March. We'll figure it out later, though. But okay, let's talk this game. If we have time for prop bets, I know we got 35 minutes. I'm going to stick to it. Damn, dude. How are you feeling on the game? You guys are 4.5 point underdogs. Like, I really prefer, as much as I want to hit the prop bets, your breakdowns on the game were so great that you got a shout out from Bill Simmons, and you deserved it. You did. Your breakdowns are phenomenal. I've read several this week. I loved what you said. And the comment that got you shouted out, tell the viewers, we got already 30 people in here. It was about split looks for Travion Henderson, how he could have a successful game against the split safety look. Was that correct?
It was the split safety look. I'm pulling it up now, and I wish I was more prepared here. But yeah, no, Bill Simmons.
No, you're good. I threw it right at you.
Hold on, I'll pull it up here. I think it's worth it. Hold on.
I think so too.
Henderson.
Shoot, if you want to share screen and share it, that's cool, man. Go ahead.
Oh, hold on. No,
that was awesome.
Yeah, no, basically Bill Simmons, split safety looks is exactly what Seattle likes to come out in. And so Travion Henderson has some pretty significant, stats against split safety looks, and I was basically calling them out. And of course, now I'm struggling to pull it up. I'm trying to talk through it while I get it up here.
No, you're good, man.
There you go. How the Patriots can run on. There we go. Yeah, so I have 4 articles. Basically, I reviewed both sides of the ball. How, Seattle's pass offense versus our pass defense, their run versus our run defense, and then on the other side of the ball, too, how we can pass and how we can run. But split safety looks here. Travion Henderson. Seattle aligned in split safety looks on a league high 78.3% of their snaps, the third highest rate by any defense in the league. And when they designed, when there was designed runs against their split safety looks, they allowed the 12th most yards per carry and the 9th highest success rate. And Trevion Henderson has particular success when lining up in those split safety looks. So I think that's one of the matchups that we can take advantage of. But if I'm going to be honest with you, Isaac,
yeah, man.
It's not a Trevion Henderson focus. Like he might get 5 or 6 carries in those looks. Like it's going to be the game plan is going to revolve around other things. It's going to revolve around Drake May's legs, I think, a lot more than it's going to revolve around Trevion Henderson or even probably Ramondre Stevenson. Like I think if they run the ball in this one, they're running it to put it out there and to set up play action and not so much to run it with like a high level of success. More like, 3 yards of carries, they're going to be fine with that. It's if Drake May can hit some explosives off of play action and if he can run the ball himself.
I think you're probably right. I think if they are successful, that makes it even easier for Drake May. I was just reading on it. He has the highest success rate in the league, 55.9 Henderson does, with over 300 yards on only 68 carries and 2 TDs in those looks. But you're right. At best, he gets 5-6 carries because there's been, you're a Pats fan, even better than me. I had him in fantasy in one dynasty league. I traded for him. My dad had him in our $200 dynasty league that we run, and he was pissed because early in the season, Henderson wasn't getting any run, and then he had a stretch late in the season where he was getting the bulk of the carries and looking great. But then in the playoffs, there's been halves we barely even seen him because Vrabel just uses him a little bit infrequently.
It's not Vrabel's fault. It's Henderson's fault. Henderson's pass protection has been really poor. Ramondre Stevenson's pass protection has been really good. Ramondre Stevenson has the second most yak yards in the playoffs and leads the all postseason in yak after over expected. Basically, dumping it off to Stevenson has been like very good. And that's what you thought Henderson was going to bring you. But if Stevenson's given it to you, might as well keep that workhorse, that veteran out there. This guy's a rookie. This is like the most games he's ever played. But you're right, 911 yards in the regular season, 5.1 yards per carry. These are all team highs, by the way. 9 rushing touchdowns, 607 yards after contact, and 180 attempts. He hit 20 miles an hour, the 9th most times. He hit 15 miles an hour 34 times. That's 13th amongst running backs. And he was 15th in success rate. I mean, as a rookie, Trevion Henderson was great. Has he disappeared in the playoffs? Yes. I think a lot of that has to do. Someone pointed this out, Michael Rodnick, Patriot Twitter legend, but he was like, the weather's been really bad. And like that might affect footing for a guy like Henderson, who basically is handed the ball and told to run as fast as you can at the hole. Stevenson's handed the ball and told to make a cut or two and make the correct decision, right? So one's shot out of a cannon and one's a little bit more patient. So they're quite a dual head running back. Think Gibbs and Montgomery, right? Just reverse when it comes to talent. Montgomery is second fiddle to Gibbs, where here Henderson is more second fiddle to Stevenson. And I'll make this statement, and I don't know if it's a hot take for other people. It's not a hot take for Patriots fans, but Ramondre Stevenson has been the best running back in the NFL since coming out of the bye week, starting week 15 on. I'll argue anybody that to death.
No, it's true. And that's why I want to see him get the ball more consistently because I like your pass.
I'm talking about Stevenson there.
Oh,
Ramondre Stevenson has been the best running back in the NFL, and that's
what
affecting
I thought
Henderson.
You said. I was like,
yeah, no, you didn't hear me wrong. Ramondre Stevenson has been the best. Like, Nate, figure out somebody else. I'll show you the metrics why Ramondre Stevenson has it over him, or it's at least comparable.
Your rushing attack, Seattle surged the second half of the season too. They went from like 18th to 10th, but you guys are. I don't like just raw stats, but you guys are 6th in rushing because you guys have 3 dudes, May, who can use his legs a little bit, and you got two. You need 2 running backs in the NFL right now. The Packers tried this with Marshawn Lloyd. Wilson's okay, but they've got the one guy in Jacobs. But a lot of teams are getting, unless you've got like a Bijan Robinson or even Gibbs, even like you said it, he gives up some carries to Montgomery because you need 2 running backs. The NFL is starting to figure out that running the ball matters again. And a lot of the teams that do it have 2 guys. The one thing I'm worried about with Seattle in this game, because we got to hit them too, is I'm not as big on their second back with Charbonnet being out. I think that's a huge
They don't have one.
They don't have
guy,
one.
Whatever that guy's name is, I can't say
Maloney?
Yeah,
Is that
Haloni.
his
There
name?
you go. Thank you for saying it for me.
Is that how you
His
say it?
yeah, his line
Yeah,
is like
Haloni.
10.5 for a reason. Like he's
I
had
mean,
4 games this year where he's carried the ball. And one of them was the
yeah,
playoff week. Like this guy
yeah.
is not the second running back. He doesn't play barely any running back. He's gonna
No,
have to, right? He's forced.
they
But this is a Kenneth Walker game. There's no question about that.
they had their two-headed monster. Those two, Walker and Charbonnet, just on the ground. Average, I don't know. It wasn't a huge average, but it surged late in the season. They combined for over almost 1750. That's not nothing.
I'm
That's
not
over
scared of their running
700
attack,
yards.
Isaac. I'm not scared of their rushing attack. They're
I wouldn't be
24th in
either.
rushing success rate, 40%, 28th. There's 32 teams, Isaac. 28th in team rush EPA, 20th in rush yard over expected. They face stacked boxes a ton. Teams just loaded the box, took away the run. A lot of the reason why they continue to run the ball a ton is because they thrive off of play action. Sam Darnold is so good off of play action. I mean, they are nasty off of play action. So sometimes they don't run it to win it. Similar to the Patriots, they don't run it to win it. They run it because they want to use play action, and they just need to show you it a couple times and from different looks. I mean, Kenneth Walker, watching this game is going to be fun for some people who aren't used to Kenneth Walker, because Kenneth Walker is the most patient running back in the entire NFL. And like uniquely, he takes 3.19 seconds to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's the longest by any running back with 100 carries in the next gen stat era. 3.19 seconds. It takes him forever. And the reason it takes him forever is he travels 4.5 yards laterally for every 1 yard he moves forward. That's third. So he traveled. So if you take his rush yards and multiply it by 4.5, that's how many yards he's actually moved on a football field. That's ridiculous.
It sounds like Barry Sanders. It's like
just side to side.
Barry
just
would
1 yard.
lose 7 yards, and then he'd run for 70 the next play.
Yeah, backwards 7, forwards 14. He gained 7, right? So this Kenneth Walker's the same way. He ranked top 5 in longest time to line metrics in each of the last 4 seasons. So it's not something new that he's doing this year. Kenneth Walker takes forever and loves to run it outside horizontally. It's very unique, but they do that because you can run play action roll off, right? You run it outside. He takes forever. Are we handing it up? Nope. Tuck it and pull it in, because Sam Darnold is, like I said, he's filthy with play action. You take it away, and you take a huge part of his game away. So obviously, a lot of my takes here are for Patriots fans and how Patriots are going to be.
That's
able
what
to
I brought you in
them.
for. I brought you in for that.
I figured if there was
details.
a third screen, it would be for the but you want a Patriots a thought here. So play action. It's their second. Yeah, my man Nick, what's up?
Second, you know it? Oh, that's right. You know Nick.
Of course,
Nick's
I know Nick.
Great.
Nick's the man. Second in run and play action rate in the NFL, 62% Seattle is. So they run or they run play action 62% of the time. So more often than not, you're going to see that. Seattle ranked number 1 in EPA on play action. So EPA, an efficiency metric. They're very efficient when using play action. Darnold led the NFL in play action EPA and EPA per dropback. 1,560 pass yards off play action. That's the second most. And he used play action on 43% of deep throws. And the point that I bring up, the reason I bring up that point is he's not dinking and dunking off of play action and having high efficiency off of easy throws. He has the second most deep throws efficient. He's throwing the ball downfield and still remaining highly efficient inside the red zone, an 80% completion rate on play actions. But here's the way that you take it away. You take away play action. You take away the run. You can take away play action a little bit easier, or you just tell your team, don't bite on the run, because it takes Walker forever to get to the line of scrimmage anyway. So sit back, wait, see if it's play action or not, and then go attack, because you can do that. You can make up your speed. You guys are fast. The Patriots are fast. They're not big. They're fast. You take away that play action, 51.9% completion rate on non-play action passes, and they have 9 touchdowns on play action. So if you can remove play action, you remove scoring and you remove efficiency. Without play action, Darnold drops to the bottom of the league. Negative 27 EPA without play action. And before I told you, he was second in EPA. Without play action, 23rd. Deep ball rate falls to 7.2%. That's 29th. Time to throw, 2.63 seconds. That's 24th. That just tends to happen when you don't use play action. Your time to throw is going to drop, but it's 24th. So he has very few time to throw. Pressure rate drops to 29.3%. So if you can disrupt that, if you can take the run away, take away Walker, which hasn't been efficient all year because he's had a second fiddle. He doesn't have a second fiddle. They haven't been efficient all year. Tell the Patriots defense, don't worry about the run. sit back, defend the pass, react after the fact. I think that's
the words
exactly
out of my mouth.
Yep.
I was saying don't load up on the box unless Walker's killing you, which is possible. He's good, but I would not make that my focus. I would not let JSN and a Rashid Shaheed shot beat me. That's what you got to stop. You cannot let JSN get, and he's good. It's going to be difficult, but you've got to. That's got to be your focus. He cannot get 125 yards, and Darnold cannot throw for 300 plus. That has to be your defense's focus. And the good news is your pass D, people forget this. I know you guys had a cupcake schedule, but your pass D is top 10 and can handle this. It just needs, I would be trying to shut down Darnold and put this game on Kenneth Walker against
you have to pressure. You have to pressure Darnold. And because that's how you get to Darnold. Darnold isn't Patriots fans say he see ghosts, right? They talk about when he was with the Jets and he had mono and he was seeing ghosts and he sucked. Then he went to San Francisco. He said, this is his quote, "I got paid $8 million to go to quarterback school." He learned under Shanahan. He came out and he's been very good since. So Sam Darnold is just a different player. Anybody who's going to go Sam Darnold sucks doesn't know ball. That's
they haven't been watching. They haven't been watching this
enough. No, Sam Darnold is very good, but when you pressure him, like any quarterback, he becomes a little bit. Yeah, it's harder for him. Thrown 8 interceptions under pressure, and while we're talking about interceptions, he's led the NFL out of any NFL player in turnovers. He's the most 14-6, right? I'm pretty sure is the split.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just looked it up. Yeah.
Yep. You got it. No, multiple sacks, 7 in his last 8 games. He led the NFL in turnovers. And the Seahawks, as a team, not just Darnold, lost the second most points expected off of turnovers. So if the Patriots can apply pressure, which affects Darnold, force him to make a turnover, give us a short field, I'm really liking our odds. How you apply pressure has to be Milton Williams and Christian Barmore up the middle. They are weak at center and they are extremely weak at right guard. So I think that's exactly where you attack. Anthony Bradford at right guard allowed a season-high 8 pressures, including a sack, and a 40% block snap rate last week in the NFC or 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game. You need to attack that matchup. The Patriots ranked 7th in time to pressure and number 1 in pressure rate versus play action. Milton Williams had 3 quick pressures in the AFC Championship game, quick pressures under 2.5 seconds. If Milton Williams can use those 3 quick pressures, last Super Bowl, Milton Williams had 2 sacks. So I'm looking for Milton Williams to blow up that right guard and apply pressure on Sam Darnold because and I think Seattle knows it. Seattle lays their tackles on an island more than anybody else because they know they need the help inside. So they need to leave their tackles out on islands. But then you have Clavon Chase on, right? 1 sack in 3 of his last 4 games, 8 sacks total. He lines up on the right edge more often than not. So he's going to see Lucas, who gave up 4 sacks, and he's on an island 80% of the time. So I really like the Patriots to get after Sam Darnold, force a turnover, live in a short field. That's exactly how they're going to win this game if they do. If it's not Drake May going absolutely nuts, it's the defense going absolutely nuts.
He's right. That's the key. I'm curious how you guys are going to attack their defense. We're going to hit that in a second because we got about 20 minutes. So if we have time for prop bets, dude, you're absolutely killing it. You nailed it, though. It's how they're going to win this game is and where they have, I think, the edge. I think you'd probably agree they have the edge in the receiving core with the collection of JSN, Barner, Shaheed they acquired late. Cooper Kupp still can do a little. You got Kenneth Walker as a receiver. You have Arroyo. Torrey Horton's out of this game. And Nick Emenwari, that injury is huge. We'll hit that in a minute. But their collection of the receiving core led by the best receiver in the league this season with JSN, statistically and just all around. He was awesome. That is one of the strengths of that team, especially on offense. Oh, my gosh. That's where you guys can win this game. You're either going to win or lose it right there. Like you just said it, getting pressure on Darnold, that's when he makes mistakes. And it's not, like you said, just get a little bit of pressure. When you have pressure in his face and he's sensing pressure in the game, that's why I'm curious if Darnold can rise to the occasion. But that NFC Conference Championship game showed me a lot because he was able, apparently, did you hear this too? Emenwari is good to go?
Yeah, he's off the injury report.
That's what I figured he was. I was like, he's got to be 90, at least 90%. But
he's nasty, by the way. He's
oh my gosh! I wish we drafted him. Nick was on this guy. So was Med. I loved him. I wanted him so bad for my Packers. he went to Seattle. I was like, that guy's gonna be a stud, and he has helped.
Especially
that
with
defense
McDonald,
so
like McDonald with the Kyle Hamilton comparison to
Oh,
him. Like he
yes.
already had the prototype. He already had it all figured out what he wanted to do with him. It made too much sense.
Oh yeah.
He's the Swiss Army knife, right? Like, because everyone loves to talk about how much nickel this team likes to play, but they don't. Then, but it needs to be paired with the conversation. Well, Imanari, where I always butcher his name, but Nick, way easier. Nick. Yeah, he plays in the box. He basically plays like a will linebacker. He plays slot corner. People call him a safety. He plays like 15 snaps at safety this year, so I don't call him a safety. He's a defender, is the best way to put him, right? Like he plays
a fun
defense.
New position, right? Isn't it? It's kind of fun when you get a guy that can do that. It transforms your defense. It's like having a dude in the NBA that can guard all 5 positions or can handle the ball, can also shoot, sets other people up, can create offense. It's cool when you've got a guy that can do a little bit of everything.
Who's that guy on the 76ers that was like 6'10 but played point guard? I'm drawing a blank on his
Ben
name.
Simmons.
Yeah, it's like a good Ben Simmons. You know what I mean?
That can actually shoot. It's like a Ben Simmons that can shoot.
Yeah, imagine if Ben Simmons could shoot is Imanari. Yeah.
But the Celtics have had those players. Like Jaylen Brown can guard like 3 positions. When Tatum's healthy, he can guard.
You just can't cover the 5. Like, you know what I mean? Imanari, I don't think you could put him anywhere on a field where he'd be out of like mismatch. Safety, fine. Corner, fine. He can play linebacker, and he definitely can pass rush. I mean, he's the Swiss Army knife. He has 765 snaps. Of those, 88 came outside on the defensive line. So he's played defensive line 88 times. 285 inside the box. Linebacker, lineman type style. 378 in the slot. So he's a cornerback, 8 outside corner and 6 at safety. So like he has literally played, Izac, everywhere on the field. So when they say, oh, they're coming out light in nickel, well, maybe Imanari is just playing on the line. And so they're really not light because he's a cornerback. And so that makes them in nickel. And I would suggest, no, maybe they're more like in base because they're playing Imanari. So I don't like that using the light. You know, they come out dime a lot though.
Dime is kind of fun when you can roll a guy like this that can play that defender position. It makes your dime. Yeah, he's great. Obviously. It transforms your D. This guy, as a rookie in only 14 games, had 2.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 11 passes defended. So he's great in pass coverage. So when the guy can do everything, he's not. I don't know if he's their best defender because they've got a collection of dudes. The problem with
their defense is so good. You can't.
That's what I'm worried about.
They're so good. Their defense. So like when you talk about attacking, So this is what Division I talked about it yesterday on the pod. We did a full breakdown. Go check it out, Fox Fellas Pod. But anyway, what we said was,
what? I'm gonna put it in the stream. Hold on.
There's not a hole in this defense. There's not a weakness in this defense. But what there is, they're number 1 at a lot of things, and then they're like 10th at some things. And so you're like, okay, they're 10th. That's our opportunity. They're not freaking number 1 at that spot, right? So like they're excellent on early down. And so my take was if you can get them in third down where they're not as good, that's good. And someone goes, yeah, but they're so good at early downs. And I'm like, no, point well received. Good luck getting to third down, Patriots, right? Where you excel and they don't. But if you can, that's your opportunity to cash in, right? So it's not like any of these things I'm going to say are like true weaknesses because this team is freaking filthy. Like they are so good on defense. Number 1 defense. They, I think, are like 4 spots in DVOA behind the 2007 Patriots.
Fox Fellas Pod, guys. Fox Fellas
undefeated. The undefeated until the Super Bowl. Not obviously Patriots that year. I think we ranked like 7th all time. This team's like 13th all time in DVOA. Seattle is really good. They are unprecedented good.
They are.
So I don't have the way to tell you to beat them. If I did, I would be in San Francisco right now, playing, working for the team, right? But there are some areas you can attack. I think one area to attack is Drake May using his legs. Drake May running the ball is going to be the way I think that if they're gonna win or get some chunk plays, he could be the catalyst. Seattle's most vulnerable when quarterbacks extend plays into scramble lanes. I think this is a good matchup for them. He can be like, call him a chaos agent, right? Because they're going to need to do wrinkles. That's my take here. They're going to need to do things that Seattle isn't so used to. For example, RPOs, keepers, designed runs. They haven't faced many designed runs. I think they've only faced 2 quarterbacks who have actually run a designed run against them. So Seattle, while they're very good, they don't have tape, they haven't defended this yet. So we don't know if they're really good at this yet. Potential wrinkle, right? Seattle against rushing quarterbacks in their limited sample size, I'll add that. 5.3 yards per carry to quarterbacks. That's the fourth most. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. We have a little weakness. 6.7 yards per carry on scrambles. 11th. Okay, 11th most. Okay, we have something. Second best in first down prevention on scrambles. Damn it. They let up lots of yards, but they don't let up first downs. Like crap. So they're good. They're efficient in that way. But second most scramble yards allowed. 345. Seattle's allowed the 10th most yards off passes thrown off platform. Okay, so maybe get Drake May out of the pocket, get him rolling out. Off platform, broken play. See if he can roll out, throw the ball. If not, tuck and run it because they're not used to a scrambling quarterback. They've allowed 5 broken play touchdowns, which is tied for the most. So if you can break some plays, get some off script going where you need the defensive assignments become murky. I think that's where you're going to attack them. But that's pulling out a little draw, pulling out some strings there, Isaac. But I think Drake May is one of the most efficient running quarterbacks, right? So I think he has the most scramble yards and scrambles about 10% of the time. So 10 plays, he's going to scramble on one of them. So I like Drake May running the ball in this game. And to just preview ahead, I know we'll do props later, but I like a Drake May rushing prop for sure.
You got 15 minutes before you got to go, or how long do I got?
No, we can go a little bit past 7. Let's go 7:15.
Okay, so
I'm going out to dinner, so I just got to make sure I can get to my dinner plans.
No, you're good. I started late. It's my own fault. It's totally.
This is a good conversation. Dinner can wait.
I know this is great. What's funny? So I was just reading on this while you're talking, and the Rams, what they did was run 12 personnel, and I'm wondering if that's something that you think that they'll do, because the Rams ran 12 personnel, like literally they were 4th lowest in the league at 4.7%. Or sorry, wait. 4.7 in the playoffs, only 9.6 during the season. So they didn't use it very much. Almost a quarter of the plays against Seattle, 22.4. They ran 12 personnel, and he averaged 9.7 yards per attempt for 374 passing yards, 3 TDs and 0 picks. A large part of that was 12 personnel. Do you think the Patriots will do that with Hunter Henry? And do you see that as something that they're going to use?
Yes.
More? I think so too. I'm betting we're going to see that more than TreVeyon Henderson against split safety looks. I think you guys might run 12 personnel, 20%, maybe 25.
So in the regular season, we used it 9.3, and the league average is 22. So to see a 23% usage would just be right around league average, which I think is good. That would be an improvement for the Patriots. And it's crazy because out of 12 personnel, we're not very good at running the ball. Second fewest yards per carry, a 25% success rate, which is the 3rd worst. But they use 12 personnel on 19.3% of their plays during the regular season. So when you average it with the 9% in the playoffs, it's even decreased there too. Slightly below average output. But I think that if you go heavy, so maybe not so much like a 12 personnel, but like, a jumbo package even. Going big is my point. Patriots use jumbo, 6 offensive linemen, more than most teams. And I would expect an increased usage. It's going to pull a defensive back off the field is what it will do. Because we just talked about it a little bit earlier, that they love to go dime. They'll use Imanori in the box.
Which is so smart. So smart of that defense to run it. That's the right way to use that personnel. I love when coaches use their tools to the best way you can, because I even watched my defense at times. Hafley would run the first half well, and then would go way too cautious. It wasn't just LaFleur. And I didn't feel like he used our personnel as effectively. That's coaching. You have to do that. And Imanori allowed them to run dime. Without Imanori, I don't think dime works for them.
Yeah, no. Without Imanori, dime doesn't work for him because, again, it's almost like nickel, right? Yep. It's almost like when they say dime, they mean nickel. When they mean nickel, they mean base, right? Like because Imanori. But we were talking about Drake May's legs. Out of 12 personnel, he's super explosive running the ball. He's got gains of 10 or more yards on 11 scramble runs out of 12 personnel, so he's got 4 of them. Ramondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson across their 71 carries have 3. So in 11 scrambles, Drake May has 4 big runs, whereas the 2 running backs have 3 and 71 carries. So
Oh,
like
right.
look for Drake May out of 12 personnel to run the ball. He's very explosive out of that. But like I said, 23% to 9.5% pre to post buy. So that's pretty significant. And that I think what you want to look for is when the Patriots do something well, but they don't do it often. That hints to me they're going to do it in the Super Bowl. Right? Like we've been waiting to do this. We do it well. We know we do it well. We're not going to do it often. For example, if you flip over to the other side, blitzing. We've been just as good at blitzing all year, but we've increased our blitz rate from 25% to 40% in the playoffs. So it's not that we've gotten better at blitzing. We've just done it more. So sometimes we know what we're good at. We don't do it a lot because we want to do it in the right spots. So Josh McDaniels is famous at this. Run the ball at your center's ass 3 times in a row, get 2 yards. The defense gets super confident in themselves. They start to feel like, oh, when they do that, I know what to do. I've been blowing it up all day. And then when you need it, you run play action off of it and you hit a bomb to somebody for 40 yards downfield to set up a field goal that helps you take the lead. Some sort of script like that. So I would expect wrinkles to be the way you take advantage of Seattle's defense, doing some things just a little different. They haven't faced a running quarterback. Extensions of the run, screen passes, short passes, quick passing game. That's something that you can do to like, it's basically running, right? Like you're not beating the defense. You're almost getting them the ball and hoping they can do something after. Just like a running back, right? It's not like you're trying to throw the ball downfield with air yards and get all your air yards, get the gain off of the air. I would say quick passing to Ramondre Stevenson is going to be another one too. Like I mentioned earlier, he's a yak leader in the playoffs.
How many yards did you say he had in the playoffs? He was awesome in the regular season too.
You're talking about Ramondre Stevenson?
Yeah.
So I mean, the Patriots as a whole, league average, they were 16th in yards after the catch. But in the playoffs, particularly Ramondre Stevenson has been very good. So I'll pull it up for you. Just give me a second here.
No, I knew he'd been really good. I didn't have it.
Third most yak in the postseason.
That's 104 yards. Running back.
That's a running back. No wide receiver has over 50 yards a yak this postseason through 3 games, and he has 104. His 52 yards over expected is the most. So he's like one of the best yards after catch humans in the NFL playoffs.
I love it. So I gotta ask this, okay? Because me and my dad were talking on the way here. And I told him, I was like, Dad, do you want to come on? But he hasn't wanted to hop on a show for a little bit. He's knee deep in this shooter that we play together called Tarkov and Escape from Tarkov. And he's been loving that. So he knew. I was like, Dad, I'm doing a show with Pete. He's like, oh yeah, Pete. And he's like, do you think people are talking? He was asking me this. He's like, do you think people are talking too much about Drake May's struggles in the postseason? I was like, a little bit, because yes, he struggled against Denver, but what quarterback in the world? And I'm sorry, I don't think his weapons are like the best. It's a good cast. I love the running backs all collectively. It's good. There's no JSN in that group though.
You don't like yourself some Stephon Diggs?
I love when Diggs is on with Hunter Henry, when used effectively, when they have Travion going with the Stevenson. That's a pretty fun little group. The receiving core leaves a little bit to be desired, but we've seen some flashes from Booty. We've seen some flashes from Kyle Williams. Hoping to see more of him in the future. I think he could be an awesome deep threat. We saw a little bit this season, but
he has a 1 yard line in this playoff game. If you like him to get 1 yard, you can get him at like plus 400.
What?
Something like that.
No.
Yeah. If you like,
are you
Kyle
kidding
Williams,
me?
take
1 yard. So it's just one positive.
I put my whole card out there. So I took a ton of props, like 36.
How much did you bet on Kyle Williams? Did you bet like $20?
No, it was like $1. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's only worth a dust. Yeah. Because it's plus like 400 or something like that. You can make a payout. So I have my whole card out there. It follows the same game script, so I'm not expecting Seattle to win. But so it all follows what I think is going to happen in this game. So
you think the Pats are going to win?
I think the Pats are going to win money line for sure. Kyle Williams is on my card for I call it a dusting, Isaac, when I put like $1 or $2. It's just like
I like that. No, I like that. You're like,
just want to sprinkle.
It's like when I got a 2-7 and I'm on the small blind and I gotta call $1 to call. I'm just like, you know what? It's suited. What if I hit? And I've done it before. What if 2 sevens and a deuce come up?
No one expects you to be in.
Baby.
When 277 comes up on the flop, nobody goes, somebody just got a full. Everyone would have folded that, right? Nobody expects you to have, So I agree with you. I'm 100%.
I love poker, by the way. Poker is
We could do a whole show on poker. I like hold'em myself.
I might take you up on that because I totally could.
I love the
Really
math.
quick, do you think? Oh, I know, man. The odds. I used to watch it. My dad studied it. I know a decent amount of odds. He knows even more, but he used to have a book, and we'd read it on like what you are pre-flop, what you are after the
Yep.
flop. With
You need to know
aces versus,
that. If
like,
you're not doing
any-
that, you're just having fun. You're just like out there doing.
Sometimes I just f around a little, and I tend to like be really streaky. I'll get a bunch of hands, and then I need to take a break or quit. I like playing cash games versus tournaments, but yeah, we play every time I go now, and I'm gonna move out there. And he lives like 5 minutes from a casino, so I'll probably be going a couple times a month at least. But okay, really quick, do you think how are you feeling temperature wise about Drake May's postseason? 5, let's say 5, you're feeling great. 1, terrible. 2, 3, 4. How do you feel like he's played just in the playoffs?
3.
That's where I'm at too, because you look at the Texans game, he threw 3 TDs. That's not nothing, man. That Texans D to me was the best defense in the NFL this year, and I don't know a quarterback in the planet that would have had a great game against Denver in Denver with that defense with the weather. I just think there wasn't happening.
The weather has been a huge factor. The weather, yes. I mean, in the Denver game, we all saw it. It was basically who isn't going to mess up, it turned into, and Drake May didn't mess up and actually got that first down. So huge of him there. He scored the touchdown on a QB designed run. That was big. The 3 touchdowns against the Texans. He had like a 37-yard run to set up a field goal against the Chargers. So he's been like clutch and doing the things that he needs to do, win in advance. It's been mainly the defense that's carried the team throughout the playoffs. But when you go from a cupcake schedule to playing the top 5 defenses 3 times in a row, you should see a suppression in the statistics. You just don't like how many fumbles he's been doing, if he doesn't put the ball on the ground, I'm saying 4, but the ball on the ground makes him minus a point because all these turnovers are starting to stack up. You have to put some of that on the offensive line, right? And like their protection of him, which has been porous. They have a rookie left guard who's out of position. He played center. He is a center.
I hate when they do that. We ran into that with
Jenkins. You had to though, because we wanted to play him, and he's not ready to make the calls at center yet, so he had to play left guard. It's almost like one of those, and it got him a year of experience. I don't know if Rabel called this either, so I think he was like, "Listen, you're going to go out there and get some experience this year." And it's like, "Oh wow, we're starting to win. You can't bench him now." So it was almost, I almost want to wonder because we have some good backup. Like Ben Brown. Might not ring a bell to most people, but he's a fine backup guard.
I've heard of him. Yeah. He's solid.
Yeah, solid.
We had to do this where we moved we didn't have a center. We didn't sign one. So we moved our all-pro guard to center, and he was not nearly, he was out of position. You could tell it's such a change, like just moving one spot on the line. Some guys can handle it and do just fine. But some guys are far better at one position. It just depends on the player. Typically, they're better at one position.
But Will Campbell's the other rookie too, right? I was talking about Jared Wilson. Will Campbell's the other rookie, and so on the left side, you have 2 rookies. You have a veteran center, a veteran right guard, and a veteran right tackle. A very good right guard and right tackle. The center is, I would say, average, right? In Bradbury. So the obvious area to attack is that left side, and teams have been absolutely doing it. In the divisional round, we had a 62.5% pressure rate against the Texans, 8 pressures, 5 sacks, the highest pressure to sack ratio in May's career. So these defenses have been getting after it, and Will Campbell's been going up against Hall of Famers, essentially, in Benito and Will Anderson. So I'm almost like, you've had tough games. Will Campbell allowing 5 pressures, but 4 pressures in back-to-back games, but you've been going up against the elite of the NFL. So some of that's to be expected. And they've been trying to give him help, but he had a press conference and he was like, "It's weird. I'm getting the help and I'm doing worse when I get help than when I'm on an island." So he's got a little something to figure out, there. But May's been sacked 15 times this postseason, the most by any player to reach a Super Bowl since 1970.
Oh,
right. He's taken a sack on 48.4% of pressure dropbacks. That's nearly double his regular season rate. So what he's experiencing in the regular season is doubled and way worse in the postseason, and you're seeing way worse numbers. So it just makes sense. So since it makes sense, I'm not so much down on him. I know that he has it in him. And again, the weather. You add on defense plus weather, you're gonna see the numbers. Like, what's the equation? Good defense plus bad weather equals. What does that do to an MVP caliber?
You could have had Stafford. You could have Stafford out there with Nakua and Devontae, and I'd be surprised if he scored 20. He might add 2 TDs. Maybe he gets 17. I don't think against that Denver defense in Denver with that weather, I don't think many guys would have thrown up 20, even in their prime, even with weapons.
I mean,
like 20 is probably
candidate.
20 probably is the ceiling, man. So 10, it was tough, man. That defense. I mean, the weather. Seriously, Stidham. The one mistake that was the game. It really was.
Yep, you have to give credit to the defense on that too. I know people go backup quarterback, but I mean, under pressure, we did exactly what we needed to do. That should have been a defensive touchdown, by the way. I had a prop for defensive touchdown.
Oh, I know. I thought it was going to be.
Well, it was, but they blew the whistle inappropriately. They should have let it play out.
I mean, they should have let it play.
We scored, so it didn't matter.
Stafford's a dome merchant. He kind of okay. You know what? Since we got about 15 minutes, here's what I want to do.
Some props.
I want to. No. I want to hit props in a second. I want you. Okay. I'll give you mine after. Give me your little story, like your story or prediction of how you think the game plays out, and your score prediction, MVP. But how do you think it plays out? And then I'll give you mine, and then we'll some props.
I think a short field is going to decide the game.
That's a good question.
What's the question? Sorry.
Sports SP.
Who needs to win more, Vrabel? And nobody needs it more.
I don't even know.
I don't know if I have a take on that. Like they both want it the same, though. You know.
I think Vrabel's done a slightly better job, but you can't take anything away from McDonald.
No.
Getting that Seahawks team to the Super Bowl through Seattle.
He's done a phenomenal job. Absolute phenomenal job.
Dude,
but Vrabel's a coach of the year for a reason. Like he's turned around the most improbable team. And as the way he's pulled every single string, gone for it on fourth down aggressively and hit successfully. Vrabel's just done everything right. And just a quick little moment on Ramondre Stevenson and Mike Vrabel. Ramondre Stevenson lost his best friend and lost his father at the beginning of the year. They passed away. And so he was in a mental health state, very low. And he came into the season, if you remember, he had fumble issues in that Steelers game. Early in the season, really, there was like a 2-game span where he had 3 fumbles, and people in New England are talking about cut him, trade him. What's he even doing here? Or why isn't Henderson playing? You know, you could see him on the sidelines nearly weeping. And in the press conference, Mike Vrabel kept saying, we need Ramondre Stevenson. We need Ramondre Stevenson. Dude, he's our best player.
That crap takes it out of you, man. Like, I had to take a break from the shows when I was getting the divorce. My aunt died 2 years ago. You were on right after that. Yep. I remember. Wife had a car wreck. Like, life stuff happens, and we're humans. It should affect you. Like, it's okay.
The thing was, Vrabel picked him up every single time at the right moments. Pulling the right strings. Signing, there was some undrafted free agents like Ponder and Durden. I don't know if Durden was actually an undrafted free agent, but nonetheless, those 2 guys are pickups, and they may have major roles on this team. Like he had Woodson, a 4th round pick. He was the 5th safety on our team. We had Kyle Duggar, Julius Peppers. We had Epps on our team and Hawkins, and then you had Woodson. We traded away Peppers. Duggar. We cut Peppers and we cut Epps before the season. So our 4th round safety, he had so much confidence in, and he was able to see that skill level that he was able to cut 2 veterans, get rid of 2 veterans, 3 veterans essentially, right? So Vrabel's just made all the right decisions at all the right times, and I think he deserved this Coach of the Year award 100%. So in this playoff game, I think he could be a factor in this playoff game. He has Super Bowl experience. Josh McDaniels has Super Bowl experience. There's other people on this Patriots team with Super Bowl experience. I think Cooper Kupp might be the only guy on the other side with Super Bowl experience. So that could be a factor in these weird games. Super Bowls are weird. Halftime's longer. There's more times for reviews. Everyone's under more scrutiny. Radio Row's been going on for 2 weeks. No one's in a home.
You're talking about my dog.
Yeah, he wants some tacos.
My dog is freaking out because she hears people outside. No, you're killing him, man. Keep going. Sorry.
No, but I think that's the game script, right? Like, there could be something wonky going on in the game. I'll start there. I think a short field could decide it. Like, if there's a turnover on a short field, that could be the difference maker in points. I think this is a field goal game. Most Super Bowls are decided by, 1 score. 60% have been decided by 1 score in the last 15 years. So it could be, but 25% have been 2 touchdowns or more. So it's very volatile. It's either a close or a blowout, essentially.
I'm surprised. We were counting. I didn't look at Super Bowl history, but I couldn't even think of that many that were more than 1 score when I was talking with Med last night. I'm surprised I thought it was like 75 were 1 score.
Well, there's a lot of 1 score games going on there. And the most over was the Patriots Eagles, and the most under was Patriots Rams. So the Patriots are in some unique categories when it comes to over unders and lines. But the 4.5, most of these are decided by 2-3 points, field goals, like I said. So 4.5 points, even if you take the 4.5 points and Patriots lose by a field goal, you win the bet. So that's why I like the Patriots at the 4, because I think this is a close game. One of the props I saw, just to sneak ahead, the largest lead, 14.5 points. That's crazy. I'm taking the under on that one. I don't think this game ever really gets out of hand to bring it back to game script. I don't think it ever is one team dominating and another team chasing, like trading back and forth blows. I don't think it's a defensive game. I'm taking the over. I think last week showed us that even if you have a really good defense, yards and points can be scored. I think this is a good offense. And I think high score, like a 50-something-ish point game where a short field might decide it, and give me the Patriots to win.
Nice. I took the Seahawks by 1 score, but I took them 31 to, I think I said 27.
I'll go 28-24. Run back the same score from last time.
I could totally see it. I went 31. I'm trying to remember what I said last time. It was either 31-24, 31-20. No. It was 31-27 because I had them winning. I had them covering the line. I agree with you. I just think I'm a little worried about the Seahawks defense. I think they're going to create a turnover or two. I think it's going to be a fumble from May or Stevenson or Henderson or a receiver. I don't know if May will even throw a pick, but I think there'll be like 2 lost fumbles, and maybe the Seahawks lose one late. I think they will, but I think it'll never be more than 10. And I think New England easily could win this game. They're a good enough team. If Darnold or anybody makes any mistakes, New England's good enough to win this game. I could totally see it. I kind of hope it does. This is weird. This is a different Pats team. I know you're going to hate me. I got a little tired of the Brady thing, but this is a fun team. I love the Vrabel's coach. I feel completely differently about them. Maybe it's because they hadn't been in it for a minute, but I love Drake May. I really love Vrabel's coach. I like Henderson. I love that Stephon Diggs has grown up and been a leader for them. You needed that. That has been perfect for you guys. Thank you for letting me go on my soliloquy. I'm slightly going Seattle, but I don't think people are too on the Seattle train right now. The Rams proved you can put points on them multiple times.
Yep.
San Fran was just too beat up to do it. They just were. This is a great question. I want to have props, but quickly, I meant to ask you this earlier. This is bullshit to me. I don't want to curse too much, but it's no excuse for either of those guys. Come on, man. How many Super Bowls do you got to win? If Belichick doesn't make the Hall of Fame, you could give me all the, Deflategate and Spygate and all that BS. But if he doesn't make it, there should never be a coach ever again unless he wins 8 rings that gets in the Hall of Fame first ballot, because there's no excuse. That's my take.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame. Nobody I mean, Kraft can wait. I don't care about Kraft. Kraft can get in eventually. I don't really care. He's like begging to get in, and I think that's pathetic. But like the Belichick thing, if you ask the robot, come up with a way to decide who gets in the Hall of Fame, and then you fed the resumes to the robot and you fed Belichick, it'd be like, obviously. So there's obviously something else at play here, right? Belichick obviously decides in. But I have 2 interesting takes on this that are just everyone knows he should be in. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how many Super Bowls, how he has the most wins, playoff wins, second most all-time wins. I'm not going to go through all of that, right? So 2 things. The snub helps Belichick. Belichick has been in a PR blender for how long? Dating Jordan Hudson in the meme cycle with him holding her up on his legs and being all super weird and creepy and old. The UNC losses, game sort of passed him by, starts to get talked about, right? Shut out of NFL jobs, blackballed is being whispered. Ongoing Cold War with Robert Kraft. No Patriot scouts can come to UNC. This whole thing, right? So he's getting mocked. He's declining. Everyone's saying he's lost his fastball, revising history, saying it was all Brady and Belichick had nothing to do with it. Clearly, look at him now. That was what was going on in the Belichick world. Then all of a sudden, he's snubbed from the Hall of Fame. What does everyone do? The media rushes to defend him. His fans rush to defend him. Patriots fans lose their mind defending him, right? All of a sudden, we're not talking about the Klein. We're not talking about his young girlfriend. We're not calling him embarrassing. Instead, we're saying the coaches and analysts are talking about embarrassing as in he's not in the Hall of Fame, and that's embarrassing instead of him being embarrassed. So instead of what happened to Bill, they're saying, how could you do this to Bill? Which I think is a lovely flip of the script that Bill must be just loving because he hates being disrespected and he loves when people praise him. So I think this really is going well for him. And secondly, this does nothing to his legacy.
No.
So if it did something to his legacy, he might care. But he's already like I said, Robot knows he should be in. Anybody with a half a freaking brain knows he should be in the Hall of Fame. Everyone knows he's the greatest coach ever. No one's even close in championships, longevity, playoff success, adaptability across eras. Makes the Hall of Fame look so dumb. It makes them look so political. It looks so personal. They look small. And so I just think Bill Belichick's like, fine, put me in the second year. I could give a crap. And honestly, that's my take too. I could give a crap. He'll get in eventually. Everyone's losing their minds. But now it makes me not care about the Baseball Hall of Fame and now the Football Hall of Fame. I don't care. When someone goes, oh, he's a Hall of Famer, I'll go, what's that matter? They don't know what they're talking about. They have 50 old people who can't remember who they voted for.
They need to fix it, though, because
the system sucks.
The system sucks. And the game, to me, the NFL game, people that say it sucks, I'm like, you're not watching because the NFL's, I love it, especially right now. It's great. But the two things they could absolutely fix are the MVP voting and the Hall of Fame voting. It makes no sense. It's two easy fixes. At least they don't have a problem with the game. They do have some rules issues and refereeing issues. Yeah, the rules is the biggest real thing. That's
the review policy and what's a catch. Those are the two things I have beef with. And I don't like the tush push, but that's just my personal take.
I think the tush push sucks. I think it's not football.
Not a great product is my point.
And it's also
you get the 4th and 1 and it's automatic and it's like boo.
One guy's going to get a helmet slammed into his back and be fucked, and then they're not going to. Sorry, didn't mean to curse. I've got people watching. It's going to be hurt, and you don't want that. So they need to fix it. That's the hardest thing. That's the worst thing that's ruining the NFL right now. I don't think it's the product, personally.
No, the product's excellent.
The product's great. Like NBA's got a product problem in some ways, mainly during the regular season. They got some things they need to fix personally for me with
abolish
the NBA.
The flag football though. That would be the only thing I would get rid of. Like, what is that? Ugh. I forgot it was on. It was on a Tuesday.
I didn't even watch it. I made a post about it.
Yeah, someone posted. That's how I remembered. I'm like, oh yeah.
I posted. I was like, why? I'm not going to watch the Pro Bowl. But why is it on a Tuesday? Give me my crappy Pro Bowl on a Sunday.
Don't take up a good time.
Come on. I was like, I'm not watching.
Imagine if it was on a Sunday at 1. You'd be like, come on, put something good on the TV at the times that I like. So they can't do any right with the Pro Bowl.
No,
just turn it into they need a dunk contest version for the NFL. Give me something. Well, crazy.
I thought it was fun when the guys would throw the ball as far as they could. Let's have the.
But they don't want to do that. They're going to hurt their arm.
Let's have, exactly. Let's have the quarterback see who can throw the ball the longest. Let's have the kickers do a field goal. They already kind of do this, but
let's have the lineman kick. Let's have, linemen receive
receivers.
Punches.
Let's have them race.
Let's just have fun with it. Let's make everyone laugh and have a good time, like celebrities and stuff. Let's, Snoop versus just bring people out. Do something NBA style. Make it fun because it's so dumb. Like dumb isn't fun. Fun is fun. No. They have a problem.
You could have Tyreek Hill racing against Terrell Owens. That'd be great. I'd watch it.
Of course, do crazy fun. Stuff.
Do it.
Yeah,
do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get a track and let's run. Let's see who the fastest player actually is without that.
Can one of the guys? Can the lineman run forward and a cornerback run backward? Who can do it faster? Do fun stuff.
This is not hard.
We just did this off the top in 2 minutes. Come up with better ideas.
You need to listen to my pod because you already listened to Pete Collins, and you should take these ideas and sprout them on your show where 500,000 people watch it, and let's get the NFL actually thinking outside the box here because this is not hard. This isn't hard. All right, we got a few minutes. Let's do prop bets. I'm trying to get you to your dinner. All right. I suck. I don't have them all up. Okay, 4.5. I agree. I think the Patriots cover the line. What's a player prop that you liked? I forget where it's at. I like the Travion Henderson prop. You gave me the Kyle Williams prop earlier. It was 1 yard. How many yards was it for Travion? Was it 22.5?
18.5. They're really fading Travion Henderson.
Dude, come on. I think he can get that. Unless he
5 to 6 carries. 5 to 6 carries.
7 touches.
Efficiency. Yeah.
He gets it. 8 touches. He gets it.
5 at 5 at 4 yards. a carry.
Oh.
That's baseline efficiency. He averaged 5.1 in the regular season, so really he would need 3 or something like, but anyway, 5 carries gets him this. Seahawks split safety uses, we already talked about it, just under 80%. Henderson burst split safety, 68 carries, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry, 59.9 success rate, which is the best among qualified running backs. So you get him against those split safety looks. That's the one that Bill liked a lot. I also like on Henderson, he's super fast. Henderson, fastest ball carrier, plus 750. That's a great payout for Henderson running pass.
I saw that one. I like that one.
That one's a sneaky one. Speed profile.
We're going to hit that. Stay on for a minute. We're going to hit that one.
He has 20 miles per hour 4 times, 15 miles an hour 34 times.
There was the longest run in the game. Longest rush. Travion is plus 143 at a rush for 10 plus yards, which is funny because the Henderson receiving rushing combined is only 27.5.
He doesn't catch the ball.
If he busts, that's true. If he busts, I'm sad he doesn't. I wish they used him that way, but I get why. He's terrible in pass protection, so you can't have him on the field if he's going to blow a block.
In passing scenarios, he can't be out there.
Especially in this game with Seattle's pass rush, you can't have running backs blowing blocks. That could
anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone who likes to block is Mac Hollins, and I like Mac Hollins to catch some balls in this one. His line is at 26.5, so I took that, but I also took him at 60 plus because it was at plus 450. Mac Hollins pre-injury was getting 7 targets a game, and he led all Patriots wide receivers in snaps in the AFC Championship game. And if you'll remember, everyone was talking about Drake May's shoulders, it hurt, and then the very next play he got a flea flicker throw to Hollins. It was like a 30-yard something catch. Hollins is the guy. Seattle deep leak is what I call it. 226 deep pass yards allowed against the NFC Championship game to Stafford. 60-yard path is basically a 2 explosive catch for Hollins. So I think he gets that 26 and the 60. I like him at that.
That's why I like the 450. That's not bad. That's why I like the Kyle Williams prop, because I think that's one way you guys beat them this game is a few deep. Drake May's got a deep ball in the right. I think he's got the best deep ball in the league.
Booty's the best deep ball guy on the team. I have him as longest air yards on a single reception, Kayshon Boutte. So basically gonna catch the deep ball. Deep target rate, 23.9%. Yards per target, 17.2. EPA per target, plus 7.4. The first amongst wide receivers. He is the best at the deep ball. And then you say, well, what if he gets locked up? Tight window connection with May, 9 of 15, 60%. 60% on tight windows. I mean, throw it deep, throw it in a tight window. You saw it on Lattimore, that one-handed diving catch in the end zone. That's how Drake May began his career, with a bomb to Boutte in the end zone on Lattimore. And then in the playoffs, he throws a bomb to Boutte on Lattimore. I mean, he loves throwing bombs to Boutte, and I would expect Hollins.
Booty bombs.
Booty bombs. Yep. I love the next gen stat era coming into the prop.
Oh man, it's fun, isn't it? Yeah. Like, I love the stuff up. What do you think about Stevenson over 14.5 rushing attempts? Do you think that happens?
14.5 I think is a good number for him to get rushing attempts. I don't have his rushing attempts in this one. I'm more taking his yards because I don't want to trust the volume.
What about Walker at 72.5 rushing yards?
I think I would rather take Walker's attempts. That's what I took. I took Walker's attempts and not his yards, because I think it's about volume for Walker and not efficiency for Walker. So I didn't want his yards. In fact, I would take his under on yards because he's not very efficient on yards. But I took 18 plus rush attempts at minus 155. No Charbonnet. Walker's your only running back. We talked about how Helani's not going to get, and that he's not the guy. He had 19 carries versus the Rams and then 19 carries against the 49ers. So taking him at 18 plus feels safe. I would also be comfortable taking him at 19 plus carries. He played 61% of the snaps in the NFC Championship game. And like I mentioned earlier, run play action rate is 62%, second most. So they're featuring Walker in some way or another, 60% of the time. So I really like his rush attempts.
Question for you. Do you like this one? I know I shouldn't be on ESPN, but I'm on like 4 different sites. I saw this one ESPN. Stephon Diggs, I know. I hate ESPN, but they had a good list. Stephon Diggs under 44.5 receiving yards. I think this is a Diggs game, especially if you guys win. I think he gets like 80 to 90. But do you think Devon Witherspoon or whoever lines up against him in the Seahawks secondary can shut him down?
I think Diggs has been taken out of plenty of games this year, but it's not always by the defense. Sometimes it's by our offense, like intentionally. Like, that's just not the game plan. Like, the game plan could be Hollins and Boutte deep And, because the air yards per attempt for Stephon Diggs has been declining every single year he's been in the league. And this is the shortest air yards he's ever had in his entire career. So he's mainly a zone beater and underneath guy. So I might like his catches as an over, but under on the yards. Like he might get like 6 catches for 40 yards and hit the under, but you're like 6 catches. That's got to be that's got to hit over. I don't know what his catch line is, but I think he could get short yardage. He's not like necessarily a yak god. So like short, fall down on the ground, 6 yards, second and long, throw it to Diggs for 6 yards to shorten a third down. Something along those lines. Like Diggs isn't a big play guy against, underneath in these zones. He can be. You saw it in the Bills game. You remember Drake May rolling out, throwing that bomb on the sidelines. It's not like Diggs doesn't do it. So if it happens, I won't be going, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, no, that happens. But that's not his featured game. Like his featured game is the underneath finding holes in the zone. He's been brilliant at that.
That's where I think he could have a really good game.
He could.
With like 8 to 10 catches, and they average like 9 to 10 yards, and he gets to like 80.
Volume.
Maybe 100. Their volume, exactly.
Volume over yards.
If they hit a couple deep shots, or they have or the running game successful, the middle of the field is going to be open, a little bit more open for Diggs. The Seahawks D is good. I don't think it's Legion of Boom good, though. People have been talking about that. I'm like, no, it's just not. It's good. Very good team. Overall, really good team. I like this team, but the defense is not historically great like that Legion of Boom either year. It just, I'd have to see the DVOAs, but I don't think it just eye test too. It doesn't look like it. At moments in Seattle, they gave me Legion of Boom vibes, but yeah. So 5 more minutes. All right. My dad asked a great one. Who has a better game, Darnold or May? Simple, good. We can give a great answer, but who do you think has the better game?
Drake May.
I like May better as a quarterback. I think Darnold's I just like his weapons, but May's going to have to match Darnold, or if not, do better to win this one.
I mean, he was an MVP candidate for
he
a
was.
reason. He was one vote off of the MVP in the regular season. He led the NFL in QBR, passer rating, and QB rating, completion rate, 6th all time in completion rate, led the total EPA per dropback, yards per attempt, passer rating, completion percentage over expected. Like, I'm getting tired trying to say the list of things that he led the league in. Like, Drake May is very good quarterback. Sam Darnold led the league in turnovers. That's it. So
wow.
That might be too much for me.
20-9.
But I like this guy, whoever, or person, whoever. Oh, nice. Oh, it's your dad. Oh, yeah, I like your dad. Your dad knows what's up. 20-9. I'm.
You met him. We're gonna be doing the mock draft again.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a blast. Okay. Since we're running out of time here, any final prop bets you got? And then I want you to give.
I'm gonna rattle off. I'm just gonna rattle. I'm gonna rattle real quick.
I want to interrupt.
Patriots 7.5. So parlay Patriots plus 7.5. May 1 touchdown. May 200 yards. Reason I like that is if the Patriots were to lose but have to pass at the end of the game, he gets over 200. He gets his touchdown. That's at plus 126. But in reality, I think Pat's money line is a lot safer. 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. You parlay that at plus 600. Pat's. I took it also at 190. I took May's longest rush, 13.5, the over there, 5 yards per carry. But he's also done this twice in the playoffs. He has a 37-yard rush versus the Chargers and a 28-yard rush versus the Broncos. So I like him to have a long rush in this game. And I spoke about his long rushing and explosive rushing out of 12 personnel, which we both agree we're going to see a little bit more of. I also sprinkled a little bit him on MVP. 7 of the last 10 Super Bowls, the quarterback wins the MVP. If you don't give Drake May the regular season MVP and then he wins the Super Bowl, how do you not give him the Super Bowl MVP is kind of like my take. To miss out on 2 MVPs seems really strange. It would take like 2 touchdowns or 150 yards from somebody else that's not named Drake May, or a defender scoring a game-winning touchdown, or a special team, something along those lines. I like Stevenson over his 50.5. I also took him at 60 plus. He's the workhorse. He cleared this in 8 straight, the 50 number. He had 25 carries versus Denver, so volume is there too. I like him to score a touchdown, especially out of jumbo. The Pats have scored 10 touchdowns out of jumbo, the most in the NFL. 13.5 first quarter rush yards. If we receive to start the game, the odds spike on this one. And in reality, he really probably needs 3 to 4 carries to get to 13.5 in the first quarter. That's at minus 114. But I also took his receiving yards over 24.5. He averages 28.6 yards per game. He had 75 in one game. I think that should be noted. But we also went over his brilliant yards after catch, so which I think plays a factor, especially given Seattle's susceptibility to yards after catch. I also took his first quarter receiving yards at 5+ because that's one catch, and that's at plus 175. And then you smash Stevenson together with May for 100 combined yards between the two of them at plus 108 plus money. I thought was crazy for those two to get 100 together. You're basically betting on the Patriots running for 100 yards because Trevion Henderson doesn't run for a ton of yards. In past results, Denver 136 combined, Houston 80, Chargers 119. So the 2 out of 3 they would have hit in the one game. They fell 20 yards short. They combined for 111.7 rushing yards a game together. May leads all QBs in rushing yards, and Stevenson is the team lead in both carries and rushing yards. So I like both of them to rush. I also did a dusting at plus 3,000 for Stevenson to get Super Bowl MVP. Should May not get it, I like him at 30-1, which is better than you could take Stevenson 2 touchdowns, but if he gets 2 touchdowns, he's probably going to win MVP is my take. 2 touchdowns is 9-1. MVP's 30-1. So you just get better odds. Same thing for Patriots money line. I don't have a Patriots money line bet that's not in a parlay. The reason I don't have it because Drake May MVP is a much better vote or much better pick than Patriots money line. If Patriots win, it's Drake May wins MVP. Better payout for Drake May MVP. So I think that's the angle and the way you attack betting. And from that sense, I also parlayed Henderson and Stevenson's lines because I took them individually. I already mentioned Mac Hollins. I already mentioned Booty, Kyle Williams, Kenneth Walker, 18+ rush attempts. Barner, anytime touchdowns, just because of the unique usage. 10 attempts, 9 first downs, 1 touchdown. He's a non-QB sneaks because he's a tight end zone. He has the second most targets, and he has 5 touchdowns. Halani under 10.5 yards just because he's only run the ball in 4 games. So when he gets it, I just don't expect him to do much with it. Cooper Kupp to not score a touchdown. Minus 380, so the probability is high, the payout's low, but he only has 2 touchdowns in 16 games in the regular season.
He's definitely games played. He still can make some third down catches, but he's
older.
He's just not the same. Still a good player.
Good player. Marcus Jones, anytime touchdown at plus 2,800. He has 3 touchdowns this year. If that's just as many as Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp and Marcus Jones have the same amount of touchdown, but their odds are just crazy different. So I like Marcus Jones.
It's crazy perception how much it does here, right?
Context matters here. He's the punt returner, and he also is your slot corner. So you expect him to have some opportunities, at least a couple punts, at least a couple opportunities to score a touchdown. Jack Westover, anytime touchdown at plus 3,000. He's our fullback. Reason is there's a great story here, so I only bet $1 on it. But he's a UW kid. He grew up a Seahawks fan. So anytime you grow up a fan of the team you're playing in the Super Bowl, catch a touchdown against them is always kind of fun. And then how can we not bet on the coin toss? I got tails, and then in another, because tails never fails, Isaac. And then my last one is Patriots win the coin toss. It's 50-50, obviously, on both of them. But the only way I lose the coin toss is if Seahawks win off of a heads. So don't let it be Seahawks heads.
I gotta bet on some. If there's a commercial bet next year, what's the first movie trailer drop? Because I love it, dude. Yeah, he's the best. Go check out his show. Let me put it back up really quick. Wait, he had one really good question. I know you gotta. Where is it? It's Fox Fellas Pod on Twitter, but Fox Fellas Pod, all over the place. Yep. His question for you. My dad had a score prediction and something. Do you believe Vrabel gets Henderson involved early and often? Or do you think his usage will be the same? He came in a little bit late.
Not early.
I think he gets
often.
6 to 8 touches ish.
5 maybe.
Yeah, it might be less.
Yeah, he's not being used as a pass catcher. He's not being used as a rusher. His pass protection's too poor. But the split safety look and the frequency that the safeties play split safety looks for Seattle, I think, has to be a little enticing that they try it a few times and see if it works. And if it works, they can go back to it. If it's not working, don't do it anymore. Like they can avert course. So I don't think early. I think Stevenson gets the early touches. He's the starter. He's the trusted guy. And then at some point when you need a wrinkle or he needs a breather, that's when Henderson's going to get his looks. Not on third down, not in passing situations. Yeah. Well, maybe not in third. Second, third quarter. Yeah. Yep. 2-minute drills. I love them.
Absolutely.
2-minute drills. Yep.
Darnold has 3 turnovers. May gets 1 rushing, 1 passing. Stevenson gets over 90 is my dad's prediction. 20-9. Everybody watching, you guys freaking rock. Pete, you got to go, but quick, when's your next show? What you guys got coming up? What you doing tomorrow? Anything you want, floor is yours, man.
All right. Yep. So the next show is Monday. The show is Foxborough Fellas Podcast. You can find us, like you said, on Sports Zone _BOS on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all the good places.
Another person here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got articles out that break down insanely too long of a breakdown on every single aspect of this game, a whole gambling card. I did a 5-part series. I write an article that previews it. We also do a preview episode every Friday and then Monday. So Monday's our next episode. We'll be breaking down the game, hopefully celebrating the Patriots win. Going to our 12th Super Bowl, hoping to win our 7th. The 7th would put us at the most Super Bowls ever. So when we talk about being the best franchise, we always have the Steelers enter into the chat and remind us that they're tied with us with Super Bowls. I'd like for them to exit the chat and us for to have the most Super Bowls. So we would, Divish, my co-host, who's brilliant, and I would love to be celebrating that on the podcast on Monday. But yeah, hopefully you're listening to us celebrating.
Heck yeah. Good luck, dude. I got a Spaces tonight on Twitter, 9 p.m. Eastern with Jamie Jayhawk and Med. He's now known as Nercadia, and anybody that wants to pop in, come join. I'll be on there, and I'll have another Spaces Monday after the Super Bowl at 8 p.m. Eastern. But, dude, this was a phenomenal show. We got to do another one soon. Good luck tomorrow. Have a blast. I hope you guys win, and congrats on making the Super Bowl, man. Seriously.
Thank you. Go Pats.
Oh, wait. And getting a shot on Bill Simmons. That's got to be like a Super Bowl win. So
that was pretty cool.
Congratulations, dude. That's freaking awesome. Seriously. But everybody, thank you for watching. We had over 200 people on the stream. This was awesome. Appreciate you guys. I will see you again in a couple hours. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you, Pete. Enjoy your dinner, man.
Peace.